Hello there and welcome back to the Sound Alchemy Podcast, the place where we talk about music that we're talking about the whole thing with music production and the life of a musician in the 21st century. And today we're going to be discussing this concept that we began talking about in the morning here at the studio, which is the whole idea of perfectionism killing and destroying the concept of human-made music. Mm-hmm. And let me confirm that the audio is coming through. So, can you elaborate more? Because yes. I think it is, but just to confirm.
Okay, so hello girls and boys, how's it going? Very glad to be back and it's great to have you here as well. So, yeah, the thing is that it might feel a little bit counterintuitive to say that music nowadays is pursuing perfection too much when we can all agree that music kind of sucks. But there is a point to be made when it comes to the whole thing of pursuing perfection, and especially about pursuing perfection at the wrong things. Of course, we're going to be elaborating more as the conversation progresses, but do you want to clear the air on why perfection or the pursuit for perfection can be a bad thing when it comes to making music?
Yeah, look, we confirm that the audio is going through, so that's correct. Yes, actually, the way you introduced the whole concept was a good way, man. Because before going live, we were actually just waiting for the time for us to shoot, to begin live streaming.
Yeah.
And we're actually listening to good music.
Yeah.
And now the last song that we're listening to is by a very, very renowned artist, a little bit north from Mexico.
Yes.
The quality is insane.
Yeah, production standards to the highest
everything. The name of the guy is Luis Miguel, and he's it's like a Mexican Frank Sinatra, to put it in a way. Yeah. But the entire production battles are fantastic. The singing, the instrumentation, it's the top of the game.
Yeah.
It was produced. I think it was mixed by Michael Brower.
Ah, for real?
I think.
It shows.
Or Al Schmidt is one of those big boys.
Yeah.
But where I might be incorrect, but he's one of those top dogs in the game, okay?
One of the good ones.
One of the good ones.
Yeah.
Man. So it sounds fantastic. And that's a good example of why perfectionism is important. Mm-hmm. The issue is that today's standards for perfectionism are mostly based on the concept of vocoders, or if I put it correctly, autotune, the concept of the machine fixing and correcting the pitch of a performer as close as possible to the right intonation.
Yeah.
Making it less human the more you push it.
Basically, it's different presentations for quantization, right?
Basically speaking,
you as a producer want to kind of introduce us to the concept of quantization and how that kind of shows its face in music production.
And actually, quantization is a good word to use in this case, because even the autotune is using some form of quantization. Mm-hmm. Quantization is, in super simple terms, when you are rocking a synthesizer and you press a note, there is an element that controls and quantizes the pitch of the note you are triggering with the keyboard to be at that part to produce a particularly previously decided frequency, confirming that what you're pressing is proper C. Okay, in this case the note C, right?
Yeah.
When you are doing quantization, you're forcing it to a grid that was pre-established.
Yeah.
And the more you apply that quantization, the closer it is, and the strict the positioning of the sound is to that particular grid. And as Thiago put it, it's applied most of the time, allegedly, because you'll see that it's applied in more things than you might believe.
Yeah.
To vocals, especially modern vocals. Why? Because let's face it, who is a good singer nowadays? Who is not a legacy act, like a Christina Aguilera?
Yeah, I think one that comes to mind, but one of very few, is Adele.
Adele, but she also comes from almost 20 years ago, man.
Yeah, Adele's not even that.
No, it's not anymore. Current, man.
Yeah.
Or Michael Bublé, because they are kind of from the same era. Both of them are renowned for being good singers, and I agree. They are very good singers. I like their tone. I like their personality is very much portrayed, and it's actually, for example, why would you listen to Adele? Because she sings in a cool fashion.
Yeah.
Her voice has this kind of, you like it, man.
Yeah.
There is something, it's personality.
It's a powerful voice.
It's also a powerful voice.
Yeah.
Is she expressive? Not that much.
I think her music actually is expressive. She not that much.
No, the range isn't, but it's never getting in the way, because the performance makes up for that particular Achilles heel.
Yeah.
And something similar could be said about Michael Bublé, who is a great singer as well. He's more expressive, but his range is shorter. He's kind of in the mid-range to the low register.
But he knows how to work with
But
it.
he works excellently well with it. The issue is this. Would you believe, because I couldn't, that they are applying even autotune to Michael Bublé?
For real?
We listened to that track at the gym. Don't you remember that day? It
Yeah,
can
you can hear it.
You can hear it, man. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
They ruined the track for me. Because I like the way he sings. But when they force his voice to be perfect, when it's already working,
Yeah.
that's the kind of insidious, horrible perfection we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because it ruins the music, because it's removing the human element that is extremely important to the whole concept of music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because music is artistic, right? And what it's art is probably one of the most human things we do.
Yeah, it's a form of expression.
Yeah.
Expression of the
But it's
of
uniquely-
individuality, of personality, of everything that is human in nature.
Because it's uniquely human.
Yeah.
It's something that a computer cannot replicate. They can do copies. And we'll be there diving also into the concept of artificial intelligence and how much this scare that is doing the rounds around the whole musical sphere
Yeah.
is mostly coming from this uber perfect, boring sounding, not human music.
Yeah. No, and honestly, I find the whole scare a little bit unjustified. Of course, we're gonna get into it a little bit deeper.
Similar to the Satanic Panic from the 80s, would you say?
Well, something like it. Different presentation, though.
Yeah.
But now, let's try to go a little bit more on the whole idea of perfection, because perfection in theory should be a good thing, right? Or aspiring to it. It means that
Aspiring to it.
yeah, you're trying to get something to be as good as you can possibly get.
Yes.
So why would it be a problem?
Because it's anti natura. We're human beings, allegedly, right? And a human being, it's many things, and one thing that is not is perfect.
Yeah.
It's imperfect. Our nature is imperfect. So when you are forcing something that is a product of human activity to be perfect, it becomes non-human.
Yeah.
It turns into a computer. A computer is not a perfect device because it's still created by a human being.
Yeah.
But the way that they interact with many of the things that we do with them, it's way too perfect. For example, those of you watching, I will assume that most of your musicians or have dealt with some form of recording, the setup or devices. One of the reasons why everybody's always lusting over the big ass preamps and analog gear, amplifiers if you're a guitar player, or compressors and all of the stuff if you're recording stuff. It's because the sound and the way that they interact, it's organic. What do we mean by that? I'm talking about inanimate objects. Yes, the thing is random. There is a slight variation, and what a computer does is redoing the cycle again the same way every freaking time.
Yeah.
Almost sounded like bad every freaking time.
Yeah.
And that perfection, that exactitude is what makes them sound boring, not exciting. We even in the music production world and recording world, we have devices that digitally recreates and adds the random factor of the electric circuits. Why? Because we like the stuff that is closer to reality. And reality is imperfect.
Yeah.
Everything we make, reality itself, it's perfect if you start to go poor, right?
Yeah.
The cycles and the systems that are involved in reality are
Yeah.
beyond comprehension. But our understanding and the reach of our reality is imperfect, man.
Yeah.
So if you pursue or force music to be extremely perfect, it's not human.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
Yeah, because it's what makes the whole thing feel stale and kind of cold and lifeless. I think lifeless.
Formulaic, would you say?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Because that kind of random, that unexpected, that
Organic
feel is something that might be seen from a computational point of view as imperfections, but it's actually the soul, the essence, the spark that lies beneath the music, the creation.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And coming back to the whole thing with quantization, another use for quantization is to force. Now that we understand that it can force the pitch to be correct, it can also affect timing. and it's probably the most overused. No, I think both of them are super overused today. But again, for those of you who haven't recorded anything yet, you'll see that once you record everything, and let's say that you're you're good with the metronome, you have a very good tight tempo, you play in the pocket. Once you recorded a few passes, you're gonna realize that even your best take is not necessarily speaking sharp on the grid, on the tempo itself. It's there, but it's not on the line.
Yeah.
There are ways for it to be forced to be perfect, in sync with the tempo of the track. And as soon as you do it, you remove something, which is the swing. And what swing? The human element.
Yeah.
The issue is that particularly rock and roll, and especially modern metal, has been overcooked for at least 20 years now. It's boring to listen to modern metal, being frank. I'm gonna say that it is. And I happen to be a big metalhead. But I don't like listening to modern bands because all of them sound the same way. And I'm not even talking about the same guitar tone and the same samples used on the drum kit. Everybody is so freaking perfect. It's so freaking kind of doctored to the point of it feeling dishonest.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why we love Black Sabbath, because they happen to be still popular. Why? Why? They recorded all of the songs you love before this thing was possible.
Yeah.
How is it possible we still like those guys if they are super imperfect? Because it's real.
Yeah.
Because it makes you feel things, right?
Yeah.
And modern metal is described in many ways, and one of them is boring, repetitive.
Yeah, look, but I like one word that you use because I never thought you use that particular word to describe this phenomenon, but dishonest. Feeling dishonest.
Yes.
And actually the way that you frame it actually makes perfect sense to see it like that. And I think we all do to some degree, maybe to different degrees of
maybe a subconscious level
of awareness of it. But when we hear something that feels fake, we have this negative reaction to it.
Totally.
Because isn't this supposed to be true? Isn't this supposed to be something that I can connect to at a personal level?
That it actually had an impact in me.
Yeah, how can I connect to a personal level to something that is fake?
Yes, that's not human, right?
Yeah. And once again, to different degrees of awareness, I think we all kind of feel like that to music that is way too over-doctored.
Yes. So now that we established how this is affecting music as a whole, what do you think is one of the outcomes from an audience perspective? Because probably you have seen it. There are videos of young girls, like I'm talking about like 15, 16, 17 tops, covering modern music. And they are singing. The way they sing is trying to emulate the overabuse of this doctoring effect on the sound of the music.
Yeah, because it already became a staple of the modern sound.
But I wonder why. Sorry for the song.
That's okay. No, the thing is that now people there's an entire generation, maybe 2 generations of people that already consider the overly doctored sound to be how music sounds.
Exactly.
And of course they are gonna naturally try to emulate that because that's the reference that they got. But it began for a reason, the whole thing. And I feel that there are plenty of different conspiratorial routes that we can take with this conversation.
And I'm gonna avoid them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the safest one, which is maybe they were already prepping us for, let's say, AI music to be able to replace musicians in music making. Not because AI is capable of making music that is as good as humans.
No.
It's just that the standard for the modern mainstream music has become so low that even something that AI can make can already cut through.
Exactly. It's not that AI is good. It's that we suck.
That badly.
That a computer which is soulless, so far, is capable of competing or even fooling people into believing that it's actually performed by a human. The reason why people gets confused, it's not because the computer is that good. It's because they became desensitized to music.
Yeah, because what has been normalized is something that, honestly, I don't think qualifies as music when it comes to
there is
looking
no,
at it
because there is no artistic value.
Yeah.
There is no emotional connotation. There is not. It doesn't produce any form of emotion in you.
Yeah.
It's usually just background noise. And how can I make such a claim? Can you remember any of the hits from 5 years ago? Dude,
Yeah.
that's enough.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're still talking about freaking the number of beast.
Mm-hmm.
And we will forever.
Why wouldn't
we? We were rocking White Snake a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
A freaking song that was released almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And why are we still caring for them? Because they are that good.
Yeah.
And how do I know that we will care for them for even longer? Because we're still talking about Mozart.
And look, part of what makes music great and transcendental and resilient to the effects of time is because not only we don't only enjoy music, we feel connected to it.
Yes.
And we feel connected to it because of that human element, that personality element. You sing, let's say, emotions that you as an individual can't fully understand or fully describe, better than understand, being put into music by an artist, and you go like, yeah.
And you know what? You make me think to this. You sometimes you think that you're the only one who feels this way. And when you experience an expression, an artistic expression that resonates with that particular feeling or that particular outlook of life, you realize that it's universal. It's bigger than you. It's not. You're not alone. That's why.
There's a sense of belonging that comes from it.
You start to realize this is human.
Yeah.
This is something that is. It's probably again the reason why I said that art in general is one of the most human things we can do.
Yeah.
It's because it's something that can transcends. It's not that it can. It does already. It transcends the limits of speech, distance, and time, and we can actually correlate to something that is larger than us.
Yeah.
Through an artistic expression. Just think in terms of the Mona Lisa. Why is that freaking painting that when you go to the Louvre, you kind of like, it's tiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
But why everybody has the idea of it being magnificently big?
Because of the impact that it has.
That important.
Yeah.
It's that important. It's that. So you create this headcanon, and when you experience it, maybe you can feel disappointed. But even the disappointment, it's part of the charm, man.
Yeah.
Because you see something so goddamn monumental, important. It's like a watershed moment, probably. And when you experience it, probably it's not because the art piece sucks. It's because what you feel when you look at it is way bigger than what the physical manifestation can represent.
Yeah, and I think that's a good example of how artistic expressions, now going back to music as a more objective example, they cannot necessarily be measured by quantifiable standards. I'm not talking about quality. Quality is something that actually is not necessarily quantifiable, but it's something that we can say, okay, this is of quality and this is not. There are ways to be the judge of that. Yeah. Because there are objective things that can be analyzed.
Yeah, aesthetics.
Yeah, but the impact that a song, for instance, can have on a person is something that goes way beyond the 3-4 minutes of the scope of the song itself, because that's why you have people that actually you hear people say, okay, as Ozzy Osbourne saved my life, or things like this, which might be one of the extreme cases, but
it could be a hyperbole, but if you stop think about it, it's because the impact of the song in which Ozzy Osbourne was involved was that big, or reached that particular person in that particular point in their lives, that actually probably the emotional impact it had on them set them back on the right of the righteous.
Yeah, because it shows the depth of the connection that can be established through, let's say, a song that can be seen through very nihilistic eyes as something menial. It's just a song. It's 3 minutes of organized noise.
Yeah, which is a very bad description of what music is.
Yeah, because when you see it in action, if you go to a concert and you see the crowd singing along with the artist on stage, and you see that synergy happening, this is something larger than life.
This is
something
divine.
Yeah. This is something meaningful.
It is indeed, man. And that's why the whole pursuit of perfection is kind of sketchy pat. Because the greatest records, the greatest performers, the greatest composers, all of them have in common the pursuit of excellence. but I think the super important definition or the line that has to be established when it comes to describing perfection is first understanding that a human being is a flawed individual. It's a flawed being.
Yeah.
By pure definition, that means that our own making will be always imperfect. But that doesn't mean that we suck. It means that our objective shouldn't be becoming perfect.
Yeah.
But it should be getting as close to perfection as is humanly possible. Because the whole effort is heroic in nature. Because it's first understanding and recognizing your limitations as a human being.
Yeah.
And therefore finding ways to overcome them the best you can.
Yeah.
Here we got a comment here, Christian Thompson. Soups up.
Hey.
Good to have you on board. So please, we're talking about perfection music. So if you wanna share with us and with everybody, especially Thought Police, what they think about if perfection or the insane pursuit of perfection in music is what is killing music in general, regardless of genre. Okay, but there are much more bigger culprits than others.
Yeah.
So so what do you think about that?
Look, I feel that the whole, you presented two concepts that I don't think they're, even though they're similar, they're not the same. You talked about the pursuit for excellence and the pursuit for perfection.
Yes.
And they might feel similar at the first glance, but I think there's a very big fundamental difference in between them.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're pursuing excellence, you're trying to be the best you can be.
Yeah.
If you're pursuing perfection, which is something that by very nature you can't, then you're aiming for the unattainable.
Yep.
That's why anything that is too perfect feels fake, because it actually cannot be done.
It's kind of it's actually against reality.
Nature itself.
Yeah, I guess.
That's why it feels fake. That's why music that's overly doctored feels stale, feels generic, and feels formulaic.
And it's forgotten. Like
Yeah.
after past that.
Yeah.
And look, Christian here is actually sharing a good quote. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah.
Good quote. Music is a moral law. It gives the soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, a charm to sadness, gaiety and life to everything. According to Plato. Yes, that's one of my favorite quotes. It's very good.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Plato. But but great piece of mine.
Yeah,
Christian.
and thanks for sharing,
Yeah,
bringing it
because
to the conversation, because it's actually very fitting.
It is fitting.
Yeah.
It is that the way that Plato describes the mere concept of music, the whole concept of music, as something that is beyond our understanding as a whole.
Yeah.
But still we can connect with it. It's something fantastic, and it's something that has always been kind of like a project in my head, or I always wanted to find a proper way to understand music. Probably that's the reason why I became a musician, because I could see, even when I was a kid, how profound this is. It's this stuff that I couldn't understand, but I knew, like, it makes me feel things, and I only thought that women make looking at you know what I mean. But
I'm teenager.
yeah, that was teenagers. Always finding ways to ruin it. Yeah, yeah, but it's similar to that.
Yeah.
Because but all jokes aside, it's almost like a force of nature, man.
Yeah, something very. Primal is not the word. It's
No, but
very fundamental.
it's fundamental. Something that you can build thing with, man.
Yeah.
That's what, even though it was kind of a terrible raunchy comparison point, but you get me, man.
Yeah.
Is that strong of a, like, damn?
Yeah. And look, I feel that the need to express ourselves and to relate is something that is also ingrained in us. That's why we gravitate towards the arts. There's something of value to be found, which is the whole thing, sense of belonging, as you put it, outside of just the obvious, which is enjoyment, okay? Enjoyment aside,
Agreed.
we, out of seeing something being expressed, something that you can relate to, it makes you feel like you belong, it makes you feel like a part of a whole.
But you know what, sorry for interrupting, the whole thing with belonging, I think it's a step above, because it's not that you feel part of a tribe. It's more like you understand that what you're feeling, it's something that goes beyond the human expression, the human experience.
Yeah.
It's so big that it's transcendental and also universal.
And it goes beyond you specifically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, oh, I feel part of, I don't know, like, I support Chelsea.
Yeah, no, that's not what I meant.
It's not that tribalism.
Yeah, no, that's not what I meant at all. And let me elaborate a little bit more, so just to clarify any form of possible misunderstanding.
Yeah.
The whole thing about belonging that I meant, which is not perhaps the word for it, is being part of a whole rather than belonging. Is understanding that whatever is that you feel or you have the urge to express is something that exists outside of you.
Yeah.
It's even humbling on that regard. It's something that takes you away from the center of the universe, and actually it puts you in okay, there's more that goes beyond my own existence, because other people have this kind of emotions as well.
Good point.
I think even the German have words for everything.
Yeah, they do.
I forgot, but there's a specific word about the moment. If somebody that knows German, actually,
It's like Wanderlust and one of those.
it's one of those. But it's about that moment when you, at a very deep level and fundamental level, understand that other people have as complex and as intricate lives as you do.
Get you.
Because we kind of naturally are all self-involved. We kind of we are driven to our own purposes, of
Yes.
course, and that's correct. But once you understand that, okay, the rest of the world is the same. Everybody else is also driven by their own purposes. Also, and I think music and this form of relation that we can have with expression kind of shows us that to a degree.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it makes sense.
But it totally makes sense, man.
Yeah.
And it does it in such a profound way that's why people cry when they listen to particular music.
Yeah.
There are songs that everybody can, as soon as you listen to it, even the first time, if you have your eyes open to it, I mean the proper eye, not just the ones to see that see the world, you truly experience. Almost, I wouldn't say, not religious is not the way, but it's close to divine, but it's because it's still very human. But it's something that it's beyond the regular stuff you experience, and it's actually a true form of feelings being manifest. And there are particular pieces that everybody can relate to, like, damn, that was sad, man. The cheesy example, but it's a good one, is was the name Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven.
Yeah.
That's universally described as this a sad song, man. That's very sad. The whole thing is like sad as balls. And why? Because as soon as it begins, okay, it even kind of changes your movement. Take it down, man. Because if you go for a more metaphysical approach, even the frequencies produced by the piano, the notes that are being played, might impact your brain in a way that takes you there, man. And then your soul is the one that reacts the most. There's something funky going on, man. That's why I have this fascination for music, man. It's something that is hard to describe. Everybody understands that that's the tricky part, man. Because we can describe it, but words are never enough.
But look, there's something very crucial to also bear in mind. That you said about being able to be moved by music to that degree. It only happens if you're actively participating in the listening of music.
Of course.
It's not something that you're there, I don't know, playing video games and you have the Beethoven playing in the background. First of all, what you doing with your life? Secondly,
when I was a kid, I had a friend who did that. Who did that?
He played classical music while he
not
played?
classical music, but he was playing music while playing video games. Like, are you paying attention to one or the other, man?
Yeah, you can't do each individually paying attention to both, because your brain will be divided. So basically, since you cannot play video games without paying attention to it, it means that you're not paying attention to the music.
Exactly.
Which is already disrespectful to the music to begin with. And I think it's a big part of the problem with current music is having been delegated to a background status.
100%.
Yeah.
And probably is one of the reasons why this over doctoring and this over perfectionist approach to music making. Partially the objective for it is to become not attention grabbing, because the less human something is, the less attention or the less relatability we got with the object. Think in terms of AI. Why the push, for example, on rock? If you have ever used rock, it kind of has a snarky personality. Why? Why do you have to be funny? Because people don't like it if it's way too
robotic.
The whole thing with the uncanny valley theory. The uncanny valley theory is something that was developed by a roboticist. I think that's a guy who a futurist, right? In Japan in the mid '80s, I think. And it's basically speaking the concept of technology becoming so good that when it comes to getting as close as possible to the human form, it starts to develop a natural reaction from us of adversity. We don't like it.
Yeah.
For example, whenever you go to a mall and you go to the boutique, a clothing boutique, and you see the mannequins, what do you feel?
It's kind of a
Uncanny, right?
yeah, unsettling.
It's unsettling.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? Because they feel they look human. Your brain is treating warning signs. That thing, although looks like a human being,
It isn't.
it isn't. There is something funky about it, and you're always on on your toes.
Yeah.
It's almost like a trope of horror movies, man.
Yeah,
Being
yeah.
trapped inside of a mall, filled to the rim with mannequins.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like everybody can relate to that. That's the uncanny valley for you, and it applies to robotics, particularly speaking. Because why would you? Why the push on making anthropomorphic robots? Because we wouldn't like them or women. We wouldn't interact with something that doesn't look like a cute dog. Get me?
Yeah, yeah.
And there are more things that are kind of sketchy regarding that. Like, damn. But wherever. The point is that we need to have that form of a little bit of human elements to it or nature elements to it. When something is not like that, we either ignore it or reject it. And I think the way that music is produced nowadays is partially pushing the idea of being super perfect, but perfect enough for it to be not distracting,
Yeah, yeah.
but slightly off for it to be still not necessarily rejected immediately by the masses. And for those of you who are old enough to remember the better days, the whole thing with old man yells at cloud comes back. Yeah, it's not you. Music used to be better. The world was better. It's not just you being an old fart bitching about the current state of affairs. No, it was objectively speaking. And this coming from someone who's of part of the younger generation, but I'm not stupid and I can see the difference.
Yeah.
So of course you had a better time. And one of the reasons I think it's because progressively speaking our acceptance of good music deteriorated with time. Because you just analyze it. For example, while we were waiting for the show to begin, you make the comment. We were blasting Toto, badass.
Yeah.
And you make the comment that something like this wouldn't fly today.
No, because
Way too good.
Yeah, because the way I even see Toto, I think I describe it like that, is a band is a dream team playing commercial music. But to even think that music like that, if you listen to Toto nowadays, to think that it doesn't fit as commercial anymore.
Yeah.
Nowadays will be extremely niche, because the market has adopted a standard for what is mainstream music that Toto simply stands leagues above it.
Way too high.
Way too high in a way that it doesn't even have correlation with anything that can be considered commercial nowadays.
Yep.
Which is basically, to me, it proves the point that, let's say, the 80s were better.
Yeah.
Because it shows that something that could be commercial at that point in time held that level of quality. That's something now that the very same thing nowadays would be niche simply because the standards of quality have lowered that much.
That's the point, because society was better before. The society of the 80s had a way bigger appreciation for music because they had a better understanding of the concept of the good, the best, the better, and the best. Today, we pass as the best something that is mediocre in a good day.
Yeah.
For real. That's why music nowadays sucks so much. It's not human, for real. Or gal who is watching this one.
Yeah.
It's not you. It's them. No, for real. It's who am I referring to? But no, but it's those guys.
But look, the whole thing. I do think that the whole thing about music being pushed to background noise plays a huge role in the lowering of the standards, because we already mentioned that the standards are lower. And this plays a role, but we need to try to understand what lowered the standards to begin with.
That's a crucial question, man, because I, for one, haven't found the most correct answer to that question. In my opinion, it's probably because we change, or little by little, we were tolerant to bad stuff. And we saw it as, it's just a different way of making music. Oh, it's just a different way of expressing yourself. Yeah, but it's bad. Yeah, but we stopped being qualitatively objective, man. And that tolerance allowed for, little by little, normalizing what 10 years ago would have been unacceptable, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not 10, but 20.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, is one of the biggest, if not the biggest reasons why we ended up in this mess.
Yeah.
Because tolerance is not, is being just, if you go for a proper definition in the dictionary, it's not what they tell you, man. You're gonna be surprised because it's not liking, it's not acceptance, man.
Yeah.
It's the total opposite. Yeah, and I'm gonna stop there because that can get us in trouble. Bad. Do your own research. Just go get a goddamn thesaurus and look for tolerance. But get one from 10 years ago or 20 years ago if possible, because you're gonna see that maybe the Ministry of Truth already got its hands.
Yeah, the definition might be different.
Yeah, it might. But then,
Look, I think that there's more, because I think there are plenty of fronts to this problem. It's not something as simple as it was this. I think there are plenty of moving parts. There are plenty of moving parts that led to the current results, okay?
Yes.
I think one of them, adding to what you
Is
said... is them.
Yeah.
But also, I think is the ease of access to music. I think the over-commercialization and even the format of nowadays something a little bit more modern, but the whole thing with streaming and everything like that played a role in the acceleration of this process.
Like the trivialization of...
Yeah, because how something that was as meaningful as music has always been throughout history, managed to be pushed to the sidelines when it comes to importance and appreciation in a short span of time.
Yep.
I think it's because it became way too accessible and it lost its value on the public eye.
Yeah.
Because
I get you.
Because think once again, we already brought this kind of remembrance to the conversation before. Before you bought CDs, before that you bought vinyls, but there was a moment, there was a dedication, there was an investment both in time and money in acquiring music first, and then through the value that you gave music because of all of the effort that it took you actually took the time to listen to the music correctly in a moment that was dedicated to music listening.
And if I may add, if you think about what money truly stands for, it's your life and blood, man.
Yeah.
Is your time, is the result of your labor. So being a being which has finite time on this planet, you working your ass off in order to get the amount of tokens for them to be exchanged for a piece of music.
Yeah.
Already adds insane amount of value.
Yeah.
At an emotional level.
Yeah.
Even a spiritual, if you want to go that route, man.
Yeah.
It made the whole thing had a meaning.
Yeah.
But today it's free.
Yeah.
And regardless of the platform, it is free. Yeah. Well, I think Apple Music is one that is not free.
Yeah.
But wherever.
Yeah, and we have the natural association, even though it's not necessarily true, but we have the natural association.
If it's free or if it's cheap, it's bad.
Yeah, no, if it's free, it has no value.
Yeah, that's what I meant, sorry. Yeah,
and I think we started to treat music like that as a whole, as a generalized way to perceive music.
Good point.
And I think that's what allowed music to be pushed back to the status of background noise.
Totally.
Because people simply don't care. They don't see value in it.
Now, taking from the background noise, there is kind of what was the word I'm looking for? Like a contradiction there. Let me explain. Because even though music is becoming less emotionally charged and less important in our daily lives, in the sense of it having an actual meaning, you see people pursuing insane levels of perfection, either at their playing or production values. And not production values in the sense of, like, I don't know, ABC's The Election of Love. If you haven't listened to that record, do it.
Yeah.
You might not like the music, but I truly doubt that you won't like it. It's very good music.
Yeah.
But if you go there just from the academic perspective, just to listen to an incredibly well-produced record, you're going to be blown away. It sounds like $1 billion. Insane. It sounds glorious. It's beauty. It's an incredible experience, and I recommend the stereo mix by Steven Wilson. That's my favorite version of the album. There are plenty of reissues, but that's the one that I think is the best. But whatever, I digress. That level of perfectionism was with the intent of producing a bigger impact, magnifying the quality of the music, right?
Yeah.
But today, you don't see that kind of quality. What you see is insane precision, insane displays of technical proficiency. Now I'm going straight to the rock and roll aspect, okay?
Yeah.
prowess in the finger technique. The drums are in super quantized to the point of feeling like, dude, just get a goddamn computer to do the drums now, if that's the case. Yeah. It sounds robotic because of how perfect it is. So I think those guys end up in such a quest by misunderstanding the concept of aspiring for perfection, man. Because that's kind of hedonistic in a certain way. It's self-indulgent. It's not necessarily in the purpose of producing better sounding music. That's on one hand, but on the other, now, music producer speaking now, it's been standardized so much, the overuse of those techniques of quantization and making everything perfectly set to the grid, tempo-wise, and even pitch-wise, that if you want to be competitive, if you want to release a record that actually has a chance in the market, even though you might be against it, you're forced to use those techniques at least to a certain point. Why? People are so desensitized to actual human beings performing music. For real. That you gotta bite the bullet. It's something that I hate to do, and I'm morally against it. But it's
part of the trade now.
Part of the trade, and but there are ways to do it. There are ways to do it, and there is certain level of class on it. For example, I had a session recording a cellist who happens to be in a very particular condition. Physically speaking, she doesn't have the means to play with her arms. I'm going to put it that way. And you can imagine that using other limbs to play the cello, which is a device meant to be played by a human being with hands, brings up several challenges. I spend more time getting her ready for the session, mentally speaking, than actually recording. Why? Because part of what you do when you're producing people is coaching them. And my goal was first to set her in the mindset of, look, you can get away with this on the stage due to your conditions. But in a recording setting, you cannot. Why? Because people know that you can redo it. And we cannot let the okay take to pass as the one that ends up in the final cut. So you will have to repeat yourself several times until I tell you this is enough. Why? Out of respect for your audience, first and foremost. And secondly, because you have to respect the art and craft and science that is recording and producing music. Because all of the great guys before us are watching. We gotta keep up with the tradition. So that's the pursuit of excellence. Because it was, of course, done under the auspices of what she's capable of producing, right? I wasn't expecting her to go full on Paganini. But she did well to great. It took longer than everybody expected. The challenge is there, of course, but she did it. But it's because I spent much more time getting her ready at a mental and spiritual level for her to actually understand the circumstances and do the best, the closest to perfection that she could at that point in time. In a different scenario, they were I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna replace her entirely. People don't have to know. Get maybe it's in the mix. I can hide. I can have a virtual instrument playing her part. Like that would be disrespectful to those. Go ahead because I'm gonna read.
No, go for the comment.
Yes, here Christian is saying that it's like there are some sort of Satanism going in the music industry. I agree, man. I have noticed many doing 666 hand signs and in the covers and one eye that symbolizes Lucifer and stuff. It's kind of weird, man. You're starting to notice there's something off going on. I'm not gonna, and it's not because I'm not in accord with what you're saying. It's just because YouTube already tells us that YouTube is right. Of course we want to keep talking online, right? So but you're onto something, man. You're onto something, man. Because you can see that we're allegedly trying not to say that this whole push with overly robotic, unhuman or inhuman music kinda is detrimental, allegedly, to the human spirit. Wouldn't you say so?
And that it serves a purpose to some people.
Allegedly, of course. So, what to do about that, man? Because you made you produced a video a few days ago answering back, not necessarily a direct answer to Rick Beato, this big YouTube guy, right?
Yeah.
But you were commenting upon. Can you elaborate a little bit on what was the premise?
Yeah, so basically, Rick Beato, probably heard of him. He's one of the biggest names when it comes to music on YouTube.
Man, even people who doesn't do music on YouTube are pushed down with him. They know his face.
Yeah, and he has not only that one that I was making a comment on, but plenty of videos talking about AI music. And honestly, I happen to disagree quite strongly to some of his points, and I decided to make a statement on it. It's not necessarily a push for controversy or anything like that. I think the whole conversation about AI music is one that's worth having.
100%.
And well, just my 2 cents, right? And the general idea that he was presenting is that AI is going to replace musicians in the making of music. And I think that's a very shallow statement, be very honest, because I think it's looking first at a very small portion of what is the entirety of music, which is the part that the AI can do something passable, and also even to some degree disrespecting what is music in its essence. Because if you think that AI can actually make music, real music, I think you're being disrespectful to music.
Agreed. Because you're ignoring the emotional aspect of music.
Yeah.
Because what passes as music today, pop music, of course, and pop applies to every genre.
Yeah.
Just don't think that metal is the man. Yeah, even metal, particularly modern metal, is super poppy.
Yeah.
But this whole thing, it becomes threatening. The whole idea of AI being capable of producing music.
Yeah.
To those who produce music that is devoid of a soul.
Yeah.
Which is not produced by a human being or with human intent. Because I read an article related to writing. I happen to like reading. And this author, I don't remember exactly the name of the author, is one of those big fantasy guys, modern fantasy guys. He published a challenge on his own Discord. And he challenged his Discord members to discuss or to figure out which of the essays published were produced by AI. Which one? The thing is that it was 5, and 1 was only produced by a human being. Good news is people could tell, but they had a hard time.
Yeah.
And the thing is this: we're talking about people who are fans of a writer. That tells you that it's people who reads a lot.
Yeah, it's avid readers.
They actually have a good understanding of what good writing is, or at least they are used to good writing.
Yeah.
So they could tell the difference. But if they had a hard time telling the difference between an essay produced by a human being and one produced by AI, that tells you already that AI is good enough to fool a normie. But is that a bad thing? Let me elaborate. This is my 2 cents on the matter. You'll see that I even told you this. When you write a writer, a good writer could use AI to explore ideas. Let's say I got this concept. Let's see if it pans out into something fun or interesting or engaging or meaningful. Okay, you drop the prompts to the AI, and the AI will bring you back slop based on your great idea.
Yeah.
If the idea is sound, okay, this saved me hours of pursuing something that might be a bad one.
Yeah.
But okay, it's a good one. I will continue.
Yeah.
And you could use the whole AI apparatus to be your editor, making the whole production of ideas faster and better.
Yeah.
Because it's now immediate.
Yeah.
Lowering the cost and the production time for books and in this case, or stories, good stories.
Yeah.
By half. That's a good thing. The thing is this: AI is capable of writing something that can fool a non-regular reader. But it's impossible for AI to write beautifully, like Lovecraft, like Tolkien, like Edgar Allan Poe. Those were the examples I gave. Even Dan Simmons is the guy behind Hyperion. It's a great book series. I recommend it. It's dense as balls. It's sci-fi setting. Like, damn.
And it's so sci-fi that it's almost fantasy.
It's almost fantasy, yeah, but it's it's sci-fi, and it's like it's 4 books and they're like this thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that guy's really good.
It's real because because when I got into those books, I got there out of interest because I read some summaries of it. Like, it sounds like a crazy ass idea. It's kind of right up my alley. Then I got the books. shit, this is thick, man. Like, why? It's gonna be just fluff. This guy's good. Why? It's beautiful. The writing is beautiful. It actually has a cadence. It has emotion. It has rhythm.
Yeah.
Plus the great story and the expansive ideas, the concepts.
Yeah.
That's artistic, man. Those books are this close from being art, not just good entertainment. Get me?
Yeah.
It's the same what happened. Well, The Lord of the Rings is clearly art, because if you haven't read those books, do yourself a favor, man, because the writing of those books is beyond belief.
Yeah.
It's, the movies are badass, right?
Yeah.
The 3 movies, but the book, it sings.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah,
it?
it speaks to you at a deeper level.
Yes.
I think we have another comment there.
Oh yes, good to have you here, man. No
Thank you.
worries.
Yeah.
You got here late. Perfect songs. Don't move people much. Not feeling in it. No feeling it. Agreed.
Yeah.
100%, man. Because a good song is something that can. A perfect song is one that actually can translate, or can affect you at an emotional level in a way that it's meaningful to you, man. And it's something that actually change you at that point. That doesn't mean that it has to be exact.
Yeah. Yeah.
My usual example is Rod Stewart, man.
Yeah.
He sucks, but he sucks beautifully. No.
That's the way.
Look, I'm a fan. I like Rod Stewart a lot. He's awesome, man.
Yeah.
But if you analyze his singing, it's bad, man.
Yeah.
Bad.
He knows how to make it work.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's magic, because when you start to think about it, like, these guys, he's not a good singer, man, from a technical perspective. But it makes me feel things, man.
Yeah. And there's so much personality portrayed in the singing,
Yes.
even if the singing objectively is not. Well,
Top notch, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it has such a freaking weight to it. It makes you feel things. Because do you think I'm sexy? It's a fun, stupid song, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's fun, man.
Yeah.
And actually, the singing is so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you listen to the ballad, man. The I don't want to talk about it.
beautiful.
Oof, man.
Yeah.
Which version is best?
I prefer the album version.
There are 2 album versions.
No, but I mean the original.
The acoustic version.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the saxophone.
Well,
No, but the original is more heartfelt, man.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just acoustic.
the feeling
guitar.
hits harder.
Yeah, it's much more emotional. Because I think a good chunk of it is the raspiness of his voice. In that one shines better. It feels more like, it's rough.
And it is rough.
It's rough. Yeah, it makes you feel, man.
But look, you see on Joss' Joss's comments,
Yes.
the whole thing about perfection. Why does it feel stale? And why does it feel
good
something
point.
that we can relate to it? I think it's very. It comes to the very nature of us people. Since we are imperfect by nature, in music, the power that music has, the thing that makes it
Which compels you.
meaningful and powerful, is our ability to relate to it. And it's not about being relatable. That's
No, it's not literally me.
no, it's not that. It's about, okay, I get this. You know, like having that
Yes.
that real. The word relatability
It's
got
not enough.
destroyed.
Yeah, they ruin it.
Yeah.
I get you, but it's not even that word, man. It's a hard word to pick, right?
But you get it.
You watch and you know exactly what we mean, because it's something that and please, if you have a way to describe it, please do.
Yeah.
Because this is exactly the difficult part, but
Yeah.
the universal aspect of music, man.
Yeah, but look, music that is perfect, since we are imperfect, we can't relate to it. So there's no connection established because it's perfect, and we can relate to perfection because we're imperfect. So there you already lost the magic.
Yep. Here. Speaking of magic, look.
Yeah.
Christian Thompson here is sharing this track, Astronomy, great track by Blue Oyster Cult, great band. Have some really weird lyrics. I read they are from an old occult poem. The song is good. Anyway, though I don't understand the lyrics. And that's probably part of the mystery, man. Because when it comes to lyrics, there's plenty of we have to learn to understand to read symbols, and that applies to everything. Okay, not only lyrics, because symbols hold more power than mere words. Because you can express way more things with an image or an allegory than with explaining it. The whole thing, how does it goes? An image can say more than 1,000 words, something like that. It comes from that concept. If you think about it, why do you think we use graphics to tell us which bathroom to use? It tells you many things. And that takes you to the point on why it was so contentious for them to sweep in. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there. You know the whole bathroom problem.
Dilemma.
The dilemma. Already so stupid, but whatever. Because those symbols represents many things. It tells you way more things than having a goddamn essay. Memes. Why are they so powerful? Because they tell you way many more things than an entire freaking essay will ever do.
Yeah.
Because they express more. So, as someone who writes lyrics for our music, I always I have a super hard time. Why? Because first and foremost, perfection again, kicking in. But the way I see perfection is based on I suck, and please God, let me be not as stupid as I was yesterday today. And hopefully I can write something that is not offensively bad.
Yeah, first to me and then to others.
Yes, exactly. It's not coming from a place of let me prove. No. Look, I know that I suck, man. It's a place of understanding my limitations.
Yeah.
By doing so, I am extremely inquisitive with whatever I write. And since I always doubt myself, not because I think that I am capable of doing it, it's because I want to be sure that if I have doubts with it, it's because it's not good, man. Get me? I gotta feel completely convinced that what I wrote makes total sense and it's actually meaningful, and it can express an idea. And that's when you start to realize how difficult it is to express an idea, explaining it in words.
Yeah.
Shit, how can I do it? I was walking down the path leading to Mordor. You start to use allegory, man. That's why allegory. I don't have issues again talking about talking. He didn't like allegory because it has its places. It's not for storytelling per se, but it's a very useful tool for many other things. In music, in lyrics, the symbology used and the way that you frame an idea, you can turn it. You can disguise a very profound or condense a very profound thought or idea using encrypted language, because the language already hints you into a direction. And once you get invested, for example, this track, Christian, it might be still stuck in your head because there is something there. Your subconscious mind have already seen what's going on, but your conscious mind hasn't deciphered the whole thing yet. In that case, I don't remember the lyrics because I suck at that as well. I even I have a very terrible memory, but I always when something sticks in my head, I read it, for example, in the case of lyric, and then I try to understand the metaphor. And usually I fail.
Look, the whole thing with what you use the word for symbols, for instance, I think it's very important, and even is important in the context of expression of music to see it as such, because I don't see it necessarily the way you put it. It was like symbols say more. I don't necessarily see it like that. I think that symbols invite you to be a part of the process, because
you're correct.
A symbol is not expositional. It's not like
it's in place.
Yeah, because it's not like saying love. Being in love is like bathing on a midsummer river.
Yeah.
Because you need to be active in the process of understanding that to actually come up to your own conclusions.
Yes.
And if you say love is good, it invites for nothing, because you're providing a statement that actually is the beginning of an end of a story.
You're right.
The whole thing about what Christian said, he didn't understand fully the lyrics of something. Maybe he's inviting you to look deeper, to be a little bit more part of the process, and I think that's actually a characteristic of high-end
art
expression in art.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And here, just saying, they say the only thing that spends time is music, art, and poetry, and music is the highest form of expression of the dream. I agree, man. I agree. I agree, because it's the one that can transport you back in time. Because I like ballet. But when you see the Black Swan, the Swan Lake, for example, the quintessential ballet piece, the dance, for as beautiful as it is, it doesn't have that time traveling aspect to it, but the music does, man. You're like, damn, Tchaikovsky, he knocked the ball out of the park with everything.
Yeah.
There's a particular piece that I like a lot. Is the romantic section. It's a beautiful ballad, man. Listen to that one, you're like, damn. It's like sad. It's my shit, man. Sad. They were just you're saying. I read that musicians have weird brains. Well, yeah. Well, I thank you. Up to the point of genius. I don't know. I don't know.
Rather than genius, I would use the word special.
Special, yeah, kind of like yeah, that kind of special. The theory is musicians talk naturally through music. Actually, I happen to agree with that one because something that has happened. I'm going to use my own personal experience with this one, right? That people have always thought of me being quiet and introverted, and as you can see, I'm not. The thing is that in the natural realm, I tend to stray away from normalcy, if that makes sense to you. Not in the sense of a degenerate, because I'm trying to be polite. Yeah. You know what I mean. I'm trying to stay away from being a normie. Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Because I happen to always look for deeper conversations, such as these ones. And when people start to talk to me, they realize, I thought you were quiet. Why? Oh, it's because you never talk. I'm a musician, man. Do you truly believe I'm gonna be quiet? And once somebody told me that I was devoid of emotion. Why? Because I'm not overreacting to everything, because I have actual control over my emotional sphincter. So here, here's saying. He sings, "Don't forget my dog in astronomy." Maybe he means the dog star Sirius. Yeah, but it's supposed to. Yeah, coming back to the lyrics.
Yeah.
It could be. It could be, because that's why symbols are very important. I recommend you. There's a podcast that I like. Is the name of is a guy called Jonathan Peugeot, and he's an Orthodox Christian, and he is an expert in symbology, religious symbology, and he has a podcast that is called the Symbolic World. I recommend it. It's good. He explores many things and has conversation with other philosophers and stuff, students of the whole aspect of language and symbology in general. Because if we think about it, even music could be, it's symbolic in nature. Because instead of using a glyph or a cryptograph, you actually use sound to encapsulate, and it has way more power than speech, because it has way more information than mere words can do in a normal conversation. Because the same what happens with poetry. When you read a good poem or you listen to good lyrics, like, damn.
Yeah.
Why? It's the control over the language, man.
Yeah, and that's why we praise so much people that are actually talented when it comes to these forms of expression, because what they do, let's say poetry or music, which is the core of this conversation, the meaning that is held within the expression, the artistic piece, is way bigger than the sum of its parts.
Yes.
It's not the guitar solo, it's not the drum pattern.
It's what took you there.
Yeah, the whole thing added, but put together, adds up to something larger than life, something that no independent portion of that could mean that alone.
Yeah, because isolate the guitar solo from, I don't know, Comfortably Numb, the quintessential, everybody knows that solo, right?
It's a great solo.
It is, but come on, man, there are more. It's way more than that, man.
I know, but it's a good one.
I picked that one because it's the one that everybody knows, okay? And it's a good solo indeed. Will it hit you as hard as it does? Without the context?
No.
It will be good.
Yes.
Because it's still, melodical speaking, is very rich in content, right? It's a beautiful piece of music. But without the build-up, without the development of the track, without the interaction between the two singers during the song, playing different roles, the lyrical content, the beautiful arrangement, and how the emotion is carried little by little in a way that prepares you for that moment, when he does that, like, damn!
Yeah.
Because the first solo is it's in a major scale, it's happy sounding, but it's kind of hopeful. But the genius behind that track, I'm getting goosebumps because it's actually genius. The composition is just stupidly great, yet simple. The song, if you analyze it from this angle, it's basically two sections. You got this, the hello, na, 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 na. That's the kind of evil sounding, kind of mean, kind of moody. And then the choruses are happy sounding and in a major scale.
Yeah, because when that open chord comes in.
Yeah, da 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 da, and the whole.
Yeah.
You ever see it?
Yeah, and even if we
even,
push it to
even
this.
has that element to it, right? The first solo is done on top of the harmony for the chorus. So it has this hopeful, hopeful, uplifting vibe to it. Then it goes back again to the dark element of the music, and at a rhetorical level, is this struggle between the addiction of Pink Floyd, the subject, not the band, and how he's trying to separate himself from the world, and how when he goes into the real world, people trying to bring him back to the real world is the sad, evil sounding section. But when he thinks of the happy place behind the wall, is the happy sounding the choruses. Because he feels safe. The song, once it takes you back into the chorus after the first solo, it does the whole repetition again, but instead of bringing the chorus, bringing the solo back on top of the chorus, it does it in the real world section. And that guitar solo feels insanely emotional because it's like, I'm forced to face reality, and it hurts, man. That's what genius, man. That's genius, and it's just two freaking sections. Harmonically speaking, they're not that complex, man. But when you analyze the metaphysics, like, god damn.
And look, for as much as not a lot of people would be able to come up to exactly these conclusions and get these words out when it comes to describing this song, we are all moved like that by it. So it goes beyond being able to describe it. And once again, that's the power of music.
It hits you.
Everybody feels it. That's why the song is as impactful as it is.
And even though the first solo is slightly more melodic or a little bit more beautiful, the second one is the one that has the emotional charge. And damn, man.
It hits you like a wall of
like
bricks.
a wall of bricks, man. Like, shit, man. Like, my heart, I felt something. And people is brought down to tears. Because maybe they don't even pay attention to the lyrics, such as myself. I suck at that. But being a student of music, there's something about this freaking song, man. And then I realized the days what I exposed to you. That, fuck, man. Shit, this is good. Now I understand that this is thought out. This is not, let's jam. Yes, man, that was good. Just thanks for super chat. He's saying,
thanks, man.
What discovery came first in caveman times? Being a stick for sound, or painting a wall, or making a vocal expression. Good point.
So we can repeat because
look, he's saying, what discovery came first in caveman times? Beating a stick for sound, like drumming, painting a wall, or making a vocal expression. The thing is that the three of them are very human, man. And they're primal in this case. That might be the reason why the visual arts and music it's so impactful, man. Because if you think about it, it's easy to make a vocal expression. Easier than the abstraction of painting your hand on the wall, right? Because whenever I see that the photo of that wall, right? I try to think, what were you thinking, man? Because why would you do that? Just the abstraction of, if I do this, and I whatever do where I did, because I think they just blue whatever oxide that was. Why would you do that? Probably the guy knew. It's to preserve my existence, man.
Is the first take into transcendence.
Transcendence. It's deep as balls. So I don't know if that was first. Then singing or using vocal expressions to create sounds. That it's also kind of it's super abstract because why would you, in a moment in which everything is based on your entire existence is based on survival? You still had the time to explore emotion, man.
Yeah.
Because you're experiencing emotion. You're trying to put probably
Yeah.
a way to communicate those emotions in a way that is not just words, man.
Yeah.
And the same with drumming.
Yeah.
Uh, Rhythm, man.
Mhm.
Rhythm means understanding of time
Yeah.
and understanding cycles
Mhm.
and tempo. It's very deep, man.
Yeah.
Good question, because I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
Because
pinpoint, very
you
honest.
See, you see the problem, not the
Yeah.
problem, the depth of this, because it's a huge abstraction, man.
Yeah.
Whatever you do first,
Mm-hmm.
this is divine, man.
Yeah.
It's not my ass that we're just animals, man.
Yeah, and it's interesting how those things are kind of interest.
Intricacies.
No, not interested. That's the other one.
There are many.
Well, it's built in.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot the word.
It's,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Because
Instinctual.
yeah, because think of the reaction that anybody's gonna have, for instance, to a baby crying.
Yeah.
You don't have to be taught that that's a bad sound.
No.
That's something that's gonna generate a bad reaction.
There is something. It's the result of something that is not correct.
Yeah, but there's something that is ingrained.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. Sorry. Ingrained in us, and I think maybe the vocal expression, maybe because of that natural ingrained part that we have into knowing that for some reason certain sounds are good and certain sounds are bad.
Yeah.
It might be the most instinctual of the forms of expression. Because I feel, for instance, the whole thing about putting the hand on the wall of the cave, it goes a little bit more. It's a little bit deeper.
Yeah, it is.
Because I think it comes more from a sense of transcendency. It's being not only expressing but being recognized by other people that might see it.
Yeah.
It's already thinking of having an impact. It's something that goes beyond.
Yeah, and look, there are many ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yet to pick the one that can survive time.
Mm-hmm.
Because stone is a goddamn planet, man.
Yeah.
A painting, or a textile can rot, and it will eventually, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why if you go to Louvre, you cannot take photos anymore, because the flash is will damage. It's already a fact that it will damage.
Yeah.
For example, here in the city, there is a place that has beautiful frescoes, like murals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. It's a beautiful piece of art. The issue is that you cannot take photos of it because it was made with vegetable-based paint. So the flash, the lumens out of the flash destroy the cells of the paint, man.
Yeah.
So in sake of preserving it for future generations, you cannot take photos of it, man. And it's a very dark place. You have been there, right?
Yeah.
It's impressive, but it's like, damn. So why would you choose something like that? Because I want to be remembered, man.
Yeah.
That's what I see when I see that photo, man. It's like, damn. We've been also meaning that guy, man. That guy was intelligent, man.
Yeah.
That guy was very profound, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's that, man. So yeah, coming back to your question, I have no idea. Good question. Never stopped to think about that. Which one came first? Because the three of them are like very like hands-on, fast to do, kind of the result of activity, but the reason behind them, the three of them are super deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think it also kind of grants it kind of grants the place for the arts in the human experience. Is the primal need to express and to hold meaning as an individual. Because I think the whole thing about being able to impact, for instance, someone through art is what we're talking about, but even a conversation can be impactful on someone. And I think we all have this natural drive to try to be impactful. And of course, art can be impactful at a different level than just a conversation. And maybe the perpetuity and the transcendence of art is going to also hold more value over time than just a conversation. But I think that pursuit, the natural pursuit, is about meaning something, not going like through life and out of life without having meant anything.
Yeah, you remind me of a piece of advice that I gave a kid that I never met. I told the kid that you should always, and look, it's very, very, very relevant to what we're discussing. The importance of being the best, aspiring for perfection. When you are aspiring for perfection, it has to be done under your own terms, because you cannot compare yourself to someone who is in a different position in life, who hasn't been through what you're dealing with, because it's a completely different experience, man. It's a completely different series of events.
Yeah.
But everybody can understand and knows it's something that, as you said, is ingrained in us. It's part of us. Becoming meaningful, having a sense of actual justification for our existence.
Purpose, if you
A
want to call it.
purpose, yes, a vocation, if you wish, as well. And what I told the kid is that you should find yours, and you should compare yourself to yourself only, because it's the only life that actually matters to you in the end. That, of course, your family and friends, of course, yeah, but first and foremost is you, because if you're not in accord with yourself, how can you be in accord with the rest?
Yeah.
So the whole point is we live in a culture that is not incentivizing the understanding of the self in a way that propels the self to aspire for its own development. We're now always forced to compare with everything what we do. The nature of social media is very insidious if you start to analyze it from this perspective, because it only makes you feel bad. It's designed to make you feel bad because you are always comparing wherever you see on the screen of your phone with whatever is happening around you.
Yeah.
And what you see on the phone is a false reality, man.
Yeah.
And of course that puts huge chains on you, because it makes you feel that you're never good enough, when in reality it's not even applicable to your life, man. So the core of my message to the kid is you gotta realize that what you're doing is looking for purpose, and that purpose is acquired through action. What to do is up to you. How to know is up to you as well, man.
Yeah.
It's something that each of us have to not discover. We already know. It's something that I also happen to think that is part of who we are, and every human being knows exactly what they should be doing. The thing is that we learn to ignore that inner voice, man. We learn to set aside our spirit, our soul, our uniqueness, our human element, man.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, that's the reason why our society is so fucked up. Sorry for the French, but I don't give a damn. Because people are lost, man. And this false sense of perfection, it's a byproduct of this sense of loss. What do you think?
I agree. I do.
I went a little overboard, sorry.
No, but it makes perfect sense, and I think it's a good point to bring to this conversation, even as a potential conclusion to it.
Yeah.
The whole thing with music, and now coming back to the core of this conversation, the whole idea of perfection. I think perfection is not something that we should put aside.
Yeah.
Because, well, as you put it as well, the pursuit for perfection under the correct pretenses can be, and actually is something that we should all do, because it's what, well, allegedly took us to the moon. Because it's that pursuit to always do better and to go for bigger and better things. But I think we should also keep in mind that imperfection is not a problem, because first and foremost it's going to be a given. We cannot stop being imperfect. We should aspire to work on our imperfections to the best of our ability, but even relates to the idea of individuality, because some of your flaws is what makes you as well. And music, being a form of expression, is about expressing expressing your individuality.
Who you are, what you are, and what you do, right?
As a musician.
Yes.
And those flaws, to some degree, even though you're gonna be doing your best to minimize them, they are part of you, and they are part of what makes you, and they should be a part of your expression as well. And that's one of the reasons why some of the most impactful music that we've seen as humanity is not perfect. It's actually coming from a time where we didn't even have tools to aspire for perfection the way we have to today. That's why some of the best and most important music that we still have is coming from 60s, 70s points in time.
That's talking about contemporary music.
You
if
know,
you go to the classical period there.
Yeah, and only talking about contemporary music. Because none of those guys were trying to beat imperfection.
Yes.
They were trying to be the best that they could be, embracing their imperfection, infusing that with their music.
In pursuit of getting as close as possible.
In pursuit of trying to get as close as possible. And we feel the excellence, and we relate to the imperfections.
Yep. Yeah, because
and that's inspiring.
it is inspiring because it's heroic. If you think about it,
Yeah.
it's overcoming the limitations of the human form
Yeah,
and trying to get as possible to the full potential.
yeah,
And look, here Josie saying that in South America, rain sticks, turtle shells, and stones are played and are believed to have been invented by the Mapuche, which is a tribe, and it was played in the belief it could bring about rainstorms. Just think about that. Where does that idea come from? Because whenever I see something like this, I try to understand the reasoning. It's not by accident, man. Something happened. There is a background for it.
Yeah.
And it's so ancient that it became legend, man. It's just part of it right now because it's probably been done for ages.
Yeah.
And they started doing it for a reason. And I always wonder with the idea of what could that reason be, man? Because it might sound ridiculous because you know that rain doesn't come as a result of banging turtle shells. But the belief has a background for it.
Yeah.
It's not random, man. And I'm not saying that there is a way to bring upon rain just by banging the stones. No, but something happened.
yeah,
And probably in my head, no, it's not even head canon, it's actually critical thinking. There is a rational reason why they do it. And there is also rational reason why it turned itself into religious and religion.
yeah. Because similar phenomena can be spotted on completely different portions of the world.
You see, mind this,
Yeah.
man. Imagine 300 years into the future, not even 300, 1,000. They discover something like this. And they have pictographs of us. They were worshipping the black stone slab
Yeah.
god. Get me?
Yeah.
Something happened. Here, Christian is saying, we're all unique in our own special, unique way. True power comes from standing in your own truth and walking on your own path. Agreed, man. I would just add a little bit extra. Your understanding of the truth, because the truth is one, which is reality itself. And what we understand as our truth is our understanding of reality. And I'm a student of Aristotle's, okay? And I happen to be quite adept to the whole idea of being rational. Reality is what is. Is what exists, because it's the only thing that we confirm that is real. That therefore is reality, right? So the truth is the truest manifestation of reality itself. The thing is that the truth is so goddamn massive that we clearly can't handle it. But we should aspire to get as close as possible to the understanding of that truth,
Yeah.
which is what it could be understood as your truth. Get me?
Yeah.
Because it's just that clarification. Because I know I understood what you said, man.
Yeah.
But it's that, man. And the whole thing with music and the correlation with perfection and see how deep we went.
Yeah.
Because we aimed when we were setting up and preparing for this conversation that we had, trying to focus more on the studio thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Auto-tune and quantizing drums and
Yeah,
making
yeah.
everything sound perfect. But see how deep in into the actual philosophical aspect of music we went down.
Yeah.
Great conversation, and thank you guys for being part of it. It's not that we're kicking you out, but the thing is that the show is still rolling.
Yeah.
And just before we finish, I already began working on the track that we started off. I even shot a video in which I am expanding, so it would be awesome for you to watch it. It's on the production channel. There you can find. I will be updating the process of expanding on the track. I'm not messing around with your parts. Okay, not just make sure. Speaking of perfection, there is a saying that I have here in the studio that we don't do the George Lucas treatment. We never do special editions. Okay, because what we got is what it is, because it's the truth. Okay, it's what is real. But what if the truth sucks? Well,
It is what it is.
it's what it is, man. It's what you got. Have you tried not sucking? I think maybe that could change a little bit your human experience at this point, man. Your condition might be better if you stop sucking.
Yeah, I think that's an underlying principle that we're always trying to portray. Have you tried not sucking?
You know, it's kind of depressive to think that it's a novel concept. Yeah, well, wherever. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. If you want to support this channel, the best way to do it is by leaving a like, being part of this live stream, of course. And I understand that most of you watches this even passively, or either passively or after this thing is done. But whenever you have the chance, it would be awesome to have you on board.
Yeah.
Because it's great to have these conversations, and since we tend to go super deep.
Yeah, and even one of the purposes, talking about purpose, one of the purposes of this that we do here is actually bringing good conversations as something that we can share.
Yes.
Because I, for one, believe that good conversations can be a very good step into saving the world.
Yeah, agree.
And I don't even mean this as hyperbole.
No, you're correct.
I think that we should be having good conversations and they should be fostered.
Yes.
And we want you to be part of it.
Yes.
So thank you guys that actually were part of this conversation. We invite you to be part of more conversations like this one. We do this every week on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Central. If somebody else that is watching but hasn't interacted, we invite you to be a part of it as well.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, don't be shy.
You might buy it, I don't.
Well, only
Tuesdays. But look, just to finish off, Christian here is dropping another good quote. He's saying, to quote, we still do not know 1,000th of the 1% of what nature has revealed to us. Albert Einstein. Yes, he's right. Mm-hmm. So on that note, thank you for joining, thank you for watching, and as every single time we meet you, we remind you that you should never let anybody tell you what to dream about. And remember that we will see you when we see you.